as you learned about in Algebra 1 today, you had order of operations, which this is most likely a reminder for you. But anytime we are simplifying an expression, we need to be following order of operations. So just to remind you, and if you don't have this written down somewhere, I would strongly encourage you to write this down in your notes. So you're going to follow PEMDAS as your order. So the P stands for parentheses, which really includes any sort of grouping symbols that you have in the problem. Then you have the E for exponents. Then the M is for multiplication, division. Then the A for addition. And finally the S for subtraction. What's important for you to know, not only to know the order of this, but is that multiplication and division make one step, and addition and subtraction make one step as well. And when you're working these, you're going to work them from left to right. So you want to make sure that you are following that order as well. So I'm going to cover 2 examples with you. I know you have a lot of examples that you already did in Algebra 1. I just want you to have a couple more where somebody is talking you through some practice before you have an activity that you're going to work through and do on Canvas. So that's in this module also. So as I look at this first problem and I start to make my way down the list, I can see that I do not have any parentheses, so I have no grouping symbols. So the next thing that I have is exponents. So I am going to evaluate that first. 6 squared, just as a note, when you square something, that means you take a number times itself. So 6 squared means 6 times 6. So this is going to become 4 times 7 minus 36 divided by 3. My next step is multiplication and division, and I work that from left to right. So if you see here, I have multiplication happening here in 4 times 7. So that would give me 28. And then I have minus, but I have another set of multiplication happening here, 36 divided by 3. So since that's completely separate from the 4 times 7, I can do that in the same step. 36 divided by 3 is going to give me 12. Which that means that this has to be my last step because this is all I have left is 28 minus 12, which would give me 16. So the original expression that we have simplifies to be just 16. Okay, as we look at this example here, you're going to see that this time, first step in PEMDAS, parentheses, we do have a set of parentheses. More importantly, hopefully you notice here that within this set of parentheses, you have more than one operation happening. So we have both multiplication and we have subtraction. So we have to think through which of those 2 comes first in order of operations, which hopefully you know that that would be multiplication. So we are going to do that multiplication first. So we're going to leave everything else the same. But we are going to go ahead and multiply 4 times 3, which is going to give us 12. So now we can go back through and we can finish up the work inside of the parentheses at this step. So again, I'm leaving everything the same that's outside of the parenthesis, but now the parenthesis is going to simplify 12 minus 8 to become 4. Now, right here, I want you to think this through. Notice that I left 4 inside of the parenthesis because it was inside the parentheses to start with, and I have this 2 sitting outside there. So it's important for you to understand this, and you likely already know this from another class, that this is telling us here that we need to multiply. So I covered parentheses. That was first in PEMDAS. The E is for exponents. I do not have any exponents at all here, so we do not need to do anything with exponents. So then the next is multiplication and division, and remember you work from left to right. So as I look at this, I see first 54 divided by 6, which 54 divided by 6 is going to give me 9, plus, but then this is another place where that 2 times 4 is not connected to anything I already did, so I can go ahead and do that multiplication as well and get 8, which means I can finish simplifying this. 9 plus 8 is 17. So hopefully these examples helped you. You have an assignment to work through and do. It's an activity that you're going to do online. So make sure you follow those directions on the next thing that you come to in your module.